So you plan a trip to Disney World, but you're not sure what to pack? I'll show you what to pack right now. What is up, everyone? Welcome to this episode of Damien Does Disney, which is also known as D3. In this episode, I'm going to show you guys what to pack for your first trip to Walt Disney World. If you are new to this channel, welcome. Thanks for your support. I know you have a lot of other options out there to get your Disney fix, and I really appreciate you. For those of you who are already a part of the D3 family, welcome back to the ride. Alright everyone, if you guys are watching this video, I am assuming that you guys have already watched my video of how to plan your first trip ever to Walt Disney World, in particular if you guys are living on the West Coast. Now, if you haven't watched that video, I'm going to put a link up in the video for you guys to watch that video. It's very informative, especially if you guys are going to Walt Disney World and traveling from the West Coast for the very first time. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to efficiently pack for your first ever trip or second or third trip to the Walt Disney World Resort. Now, if you guys might not already know, I went to Walt Disney World, just came back recently in March, a couple of months ago. Now, it was a really fun trip, but I've learned a lot of things while I was on that trip, you know, from where to eat while you're at the airport, while you're at the resort, and what you could pack on your plane, and things like that. It was very, very cool, you know, I want to share all that information with you guys right now. Now, I'm going to share I would say about 9 tips for you guys, or ideas what you guys should, or I should say, I would strongly recommend you guys take on you planning to go to Walt Disney World, especially if you're traveling in 2021 and all the way through next year, 2022. Because, you know, with all the restrictions with the mask requirements and everything, some of those mask requirements have been rolled back, thankfully, you know, but hey, by the time you look at this video, masks are still required at the resort. We're going to talk about that, and also how to pack efficiently for the different crazy weather. With that being said, folks, let's get started. Alright everyone, my first tip for you guys is to have an essential backpack. Now, in this backpack, you guys should have like things for, if you have like a video camera, have your equipment, your charger, or your cell phone charger and things like that. Also your hand sanitizer, your wet naps and things like that, you know, hand sanitary napkins and things like that. And you can also have some nice treats for you guys while you're traveling on the road or on a plane and things like that. In addition, you have your additional, you know, your face masks and things like that, your portable face masks as well. So it's always good. Tip number 1 is to have an essential backpack for your treats and your essentials such as your phone chargers and things like that. Alright everyone, my next tip for you guys is to invest in an Anker charger. Now this is an Anker charger right here. Right here, it's very efficient. You can get these Anker chargers from Best Buy or even on Amazon for like as low as like $60. The one I have costs about $80 because mine have about 80 hours of charging time. You know, you don't need to charge your cell phone or anything like that. That charger will last a good 3 or 4 days without having to recharge it itself. Now, it's very good to have this, particularly if you're going to Disney World, because you guys have those portable charger kiosks. Those portable kiosks is pretty good, especially if you're in a pinch, but those only guarantee a couple of hours. Now, these portable Anker chargers, really good. You know, if your phone dies, you can charge that at the same time. If you're shooting, if you're a vlogger like myself, you can charge your camera with it, cell phone, and yeah, you know, multiple devices on it at the same time, even your laptop. So it's very helpful for you guys to get an Anker charger. Very beneficial. It's a game changer. Again, invest in an Anker charger. Alright everyone, now I kind of alluded to this tip in my previous tip. My next tip for you guys is to pack some nice delicious snacks in your backpack for you guys for your trip. Especially if you guys having a long flight or connecting flight, or if you have an early flight. Now from my experience, I had an early flight, you know, here out of LAX, and most of the restaurants were closed. Like most of the restaurants are open earlier than like 7 o'clock in the morning or 6:30, depends where you are. Now, besides if you don't eat like an early breakfast or something like that, you're kind of, you know, in a jam right there without having any food to eat before your flight or getting on a plane. Plus, that's another story. They don't really serve you food on a plane right now. Probably in the next few months, they might pick that service back up. But I would strongly recommend you guys pack some snacks, you know, some light snacks. You know, you have some breakfast bars, or, you know, even, you know, I don't think you take liquids yet, but like, you know, chips, breakfast bars, goodies, candies, and things like that. Something that will tide you guys over. You know, something that's kind of healthy, of course, but you know, something guys keep you guys busy or not getting hangry. So my second tip for you guys again is to pack some snacks for your trip. All right, everyone, I kind of mentioned my next tip earlier. I believe in my first tip. My next tip for you guys is to invest in some disposable face masks. Now, reason why these are important because you know you're traveling for probably hours at a time, and on an airplane, those face masks can become very uncomfortable. So I found myself personally that the portable face masks, not portable, I'm sorry, the disposable face masks were much more comfortable for me while I was traveling at least 4 or 5 hours on that flight. Now, you can have your fun Mickey mask like I have you see in my other videos. Those are cool if you don't have a problem with those. But another reason why you probably want to have those disposable masks is particularly if you go to Florida, that beautiful, hot, sticky weather, summer weather, that humid weather in Florida will probably get to you and you have to wear one of those face masks. Now, I don't know about you, but when I was down there in March, that weather was not as humid as it is like in the late summer months or midsummer months. It can get really sticky and nasty, folks, when it's like 90 degrees and 90% humidity. Now, the disposable masks are much more, you can breathe a little bit easier in those, trust me, you know, and you can just take as many as you want. So again, folks, pack not only your regular fun mask, pack your disposable face mask. All right, everyone, my next tip is for you germaphobes out there. My next tip for you guys is to pack plenty of hand sanitizer and handy wipes. Now, this is very important, especially if you guys are traveling on an airplane. You know, airplanes are full of germs and everywhere in between there too, even on the surfaces when you get to your hotel room. So that's where the handy wipes come in handy. So again, folks, my next tip for you guys is to pack plenty of hand sanitizers and handy wipes. All right, everyone, my next tip for you guys is to check the weather and pack accordingly. Now, I say this because Florida, like I said, has very unique weather. Now, if you go in the springtime, it might be kind of cool. It could get down as low as in the 40s, sometimes in the 50s in the mornings and the evenings, and it'd be pretty pleasant in the daytime in the 60s and 70s. However, if you go during the middle of the late spring, early summer months, all the way through the fall, it could be brutally hot. It could be like in the high 80s, 90s, probably in the triple digits with high humidity. So you might be packing all pretty much, you know, summer clothes and shorts, like things like that. And if you go like in the fall months and the winter months, totally different again. It's like the beginning of the year. It can be nice and brisk in the morning, like in the 40s and 50s in the daytime, and even good down into the 30s sometime at night over in Central Florida. So again, folks, check the weather and pack accordingly. All right, everyone. Now this tip might seem a little bit silly for some of you guys, but hey, my next tip for you guys is to pack some extra socks. Yes, indeed, folks, you definitely need some extra socks, especially if you're going to Disney World. Now, I can tell you this right now, like I said earlier, the weather in Central Florida at Disney World is very unpredictable during like the summer months and even the springtime and even the fall time. Now, during the summer months, if you guys already been to Florida already, you know they have those torrential downpours, those torrential thunderstorms. It could be like rain like 2 inches an hour or something like that, and your feet will get really wet and soggy, and your socks get soggy, and you'd be miserable, and you'd be walking around those parks with soggy shoes and things like that, and you unfortunately might end up getting blisters, which will make a trip a little bit more non-enjoyable. So again, folks, be sure to pack yourself in your backpack earlier. Like I said earlier, be sure to pack some extra socks. All right, everyone, my next tip pretty much ties in with my previous tip with the socks. Now, my next tip for you guys, folks, is to pack a poncho. Yes, it's like a raincoat, folks. Like I said earlier, Florida's weather is very unpredictable, especially during the summer months. Yes, those torrential downpours, and you do not want to be walking around all soggy wet. Unless you like that stuff, you probably dry off in a couple of minutes, matter of 30 minutes. But hey, if you have younger kids or if you're a little bit older, you know, you don't want to get sick or anything like that. So again, folks, remember my next tip for you guys is to pack a poncho. All right, everyone, my last tip for you guys today is to pack some comfortable shoes. Yes, indeed, folks, trust me, you do not want to be walking around Disney World in some flip-flops, be at Disney World for like 10, 12 hours in flip-flops or any uncomfortable shoes. If you get some shoes with some good inserts in them, get some inserts. But I strongly recommend, folks, to get some good walking shoes, some good tennis shoes that have good soles in them. Because trust me, it's nothing worse than walking around Disney World with some uncomfortable shoes. Trust me, you will be uncomfortable, and you might get some blisters as well. Again, folks, my final tip for you guys is to pack some comfortable shoes. Well, folks, there you have it. Those are my tips on how to officially pack for your first trip or second trip or third trip to Walt Disney World. I hope you enjoyed these tips like I did. Now, I would like to hear from you, D3 fam. Have you guys ever been to Walt Disney World? Did you find these tips very helpful? Feel free to leave a comment below. This should be fun. In the meantime, if you guys are still having your Disneyland withdrawals, feel free to check out my fun-filled library where I have some fun, amazing Disneyland tips and fun, amazing Disneyland adventure to help you get your Disney fix. And hey folks, like I said earlier in my intro, I just came back from my trip from Walt Disney World in March, so feel free to check out. I have a good list of about 12 fun videos from food, fun, and adventures from Walt Disney World. So feel free to check those out to help you get your Disney fix as well. Thanks again for watching, folks. Remember, if you like this video, go ahead and click that like button below and feel free to share this video. More important, if you like me, go ahead and click that subscribe button below and become a member of the D3 family. And remember to click that notification bell so you get notified as soon as I drop the latest Disneyland news. And last but not least, folks, remember to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and also on Twitter. See you guys soon.